This is your daily news from the Newport Bermuda Race Course, presented by Palm Beach Motor Yachts.
Welcome to the final episode of the Gulfstream Show, powered by Palm Beach Motor Yachts. I'm your host, Lauren Zeich. Yesterday, these docks filled up in a flurry of activity as the fleet finally crossed the finish line and got to Bermuda. Once they were all tied up, one of the first orders of business, maybe even before saying hello to friends and family, was to grab a dark and Stormy. We caught up with the national tall ship of Bermuda before they crossed the finish line. Let's join them aboard this key symbol of Bermuda's sailing prowess. On board Spirit of Bermuda, the flagship of this fleet perhaps. How's the race been going for you guys?
Well, we had quite an exciting start. We were obviously a very big boat and very slow maneuvering, so weaving in and out of traffic, trying to stay in the exclusion zone was very hard for us. To try and kind of get there and avoid not hitting other boats was quite exciting. But we got through. We had a clear start, only 10 seconds late to the line. And we started making some good headway. We were in favorable breeze for us all the way up until that evening. And that evening was a very eventful evening. We lost our head sail. It broke free and did some damage to the front of, to basically some of the rigging. So we lost an important head sail. And we had to, in quite a heavy, I wouldn't call it a squall, but the breeze came up. We had to dump our mainsail in quite haste at 3 a.m. So it was a bit of a sleepless first night. And then we sailed into no wind.
Yeah, we saw all you guys parked up there for a while, and we've been keeping the dark and stormies on ice. So how did you get through that light air patch?
So we made the decision, because we can't point like a lot of the other boats, we made the decision to go further west and to try to lay Bermuda in one tack. And at the moment, we're cruising at 7 knots since the breeze is filled in after that one tack. And we're hoping we take back a few boats now that they all bunched together and we went further west. We're hoping that pays off for us.
All right, can you turn the camera around and give us a show of what's going on deck? It looks beautiful out there.
Got a few people sleeping on deck. As we come back, we got a few people chatting at midships. And we come back to the cockpit here. We're sort of glued into the numbers here, just trying to follow our course and make the best way to Bermuda.
Awesome. Can we get a look up at the sails?
Yeah, sure.
It's very different than the other boats we've been seeing come in.
Oh, very much so. Yeah.
Awesome.
She's a big boat, she's a big boat, and she takes a lot of wind to sail.
Hey Sheila, it's great to see you on your 21st Newport Bermuda Race. How's it going out there?
It's one of the things about Bermuda races is they're all different, and this one's living up to that. We've had all sorts of conditions, a lot of different strategies and tactics go out the window as the conditions change. But fortunately, the crew has been resilient and on a very steep learning curve in some cases. But is going well here.
So you're no stranger to crossing a finish line. Can you describe for us, what does that feel like?
Well, right now we're about 20 minutes from Kitchen Shoals, so it's like smelling the barn. And it's in some ways it's hard to keep people concentrated because they really want to get to Bermuda. But we've got work to do, and getting around Kitchen Shoals, obeying all of the buoys, finding that the finish line, which is the little buoys are surprisingly hard to see, even on a bright day. And then getting the bearing to St. David's Light, and recording your time and going through all the protocols, and then you can relax.
So you mentioned that every Bermuda race was different. What do you think was the biggest challenge for you this race?
I think it was this shifting of gears. We had wind at 10, then wind at 5, then wind at 10, up to 15, back down, this way, that way. The currents, some were where they were charted, and then there were the inexplicable ones that show up out of nowhere and push you in a direction you don't want to go. And you have to figure out how to compensate for that.
So the boat you're on, Selkie, has a little bit of a meaningful history to you. Can you tell us about that?
This Selkie was the boat that my father, who was a yacht designer, designed for himself. She was launched 40 years ago, and this is her 15th or 16th race. I have to recount. So she's been part of the family. She's been a whole lot of miles.
And how'd she hold up in this race? Any repairs you had to do underway?
Let's see, we lost one little nut. We chafed a line. The preparations have really been really paid off. We did discover that we had a slow leak somewhere in the freshwater system. So over 3 days, we probably lost about 14 gallons of water, but we have enough to get us in good shape.
Now, a couple of the sailors missed their Gulfstream interviews. I wonder why.
Sailing vessel mischief managed as part of the Gulfstream show, we missed our check-in. I no-showed because at 11:30 a.m. on Saturday, I think at that point, 5 of 8 of us had been sick. We had maybe 3 hours before hit a new boat speed record in a J45, which is a racer cruiser, to be clear, of 23.1 knots surfing. Blew up the A3 immediately after that, killed a halyard, dented the boom, and no one had eaten any food yet. So we still actually recovered quite well, fixed a bunch of stuff, kept racing. Oh, also our battery system would not hold a charge starting at the start, which was a miss and new. So we troubleshot, kept sailing, kept the boat moving, and got second in Gibbs Hill 1. So
Are you coming back again?
very much yes.
So I missed my date with my Lauren, and I was out on the bow. We had an issue out on the bow. We had a snag as we were trying to hull up a sail and had to fix a problem. So sorry I missed things, but our crew crushed it in the heavy air, in the light air. It was gritty and it was wet and it was everything you hope a Bermuda race is going to be. It was energetic. There were high winds, there was upwind, there was downwind, there were becalmings that took just great persistence and just carrying on, and yeah, we made it. So this crew of Saphir really crushed it.
Now that all the sailors are here, what can they do besides drink dark and stormies? Let's check in with Alistair from Bermuda Tourism to find out.
Welcome to Bermuda, guys. It's so great to have you here. We have a lineup of great things for you while you're here, and we hope you stay with us longer than you expected. We have the Crystal Caves, a great place to explore. We have the town of St. George, a UNESCO site. Great history in the town of St. George. Now it's time to eat. Let's go to the Crystal Caves, or let's go over to the Swizzle Inn, a great place to sit back, relax, enjoy, and think about the moments arriving in Bermuda and what it was like. There's so much going on here for you right now. We also have the aquarium, a great place to enjoy and visit some of what we have here. We also talk about the perfume factory. There are more than 300 ships sitting around this island, been out there for decades, and we've explored many of those ships, and on board one ship we discovered perfume. It's a part of this journey that we talk about every day. We have some great beaches waiting for you. We have the Horseshoe Bay, very well known, a great place to go and check out, hang out, and you can walk from Horseshoe Bay to Worklone Bay to Chaplain Bay, Stonehole Bay. They're lined up, beautiful caves and coves. Go and enjoy a piece of the island for yourselves. And also, we have Clearwater Beach, a great place to go and hang out. Some great beaches around, and that's just a part of what's out here waiting for you at this moment. You've had a long journey. You're in Bermuda. We welcome you all over again. We're grateful that you're here. We hope you stay, and we'll see you on the next journey. Thanks for coming.
Sounds like there's plenty to do for these sailors once they have finished catching up with their friends and family and sharing some sea stories. We got a chance to listen in to a few of them as they walked the docks yesterday.
Unfortunately, we won last time, but this was not our turn. And it was super frustrating, but had an amazing crew. We were, I mean, from 50 miles to 400 miles, I mean, flying, hitting 20 knots, banging through the waves at our A3. It was just awesome. One of the crew said, best race, the last 2 days were the best racing they'd ever done at that point. And then he was on my watch and we parked. And it wasn't so exciting, but we're excited to be here. And I mean, it's a great race. It's a great race, great people, and excited to be part of it. And very frustrated, but not our turn this year.
Great race, like all time, but honestly one of the best parts was overtaking boats in the channel to the race to the Dark and Stormies, because honestly we were changing places back and forth on the race course, but we passed at least 3 boats on the way to the bar, which was the best part.
The first half was really the brute force, and we had some exciting spinnaker running. We had speeds up over 20 knots and some pretty epic wipeouts, and then the second half was more the mental part of the race.
All right, describe one of the wipeouts for me.
Both sheets fell off our spinnaker, and we had to rig away to get it back to the boat while it was flailing all around out there. And the team came together and got it done with a lot of noise and one ripped spinnaker. We got it back to the boat.
You got it.
What about the rest?
Don't tell them about the rest.
No, both. This is your chance to write our story.
So your A3 had a hole in it?
Yeah, now it has a bigger hole.
Did you see anything interesting out there?
Oh yeah, right after the dolphins, we saw some mermaids. I'm not sure if it was real mermaids or if it was the seasick mids, but it was some fun.
Second day we're out there coming along, big breeze, and looking at us playing in these massive waves were, I don't know, 50 dolphins, easily.
100.
And we've seen lots of dolphins before playing, but they usually play off your bow. These were schools of dolphins playing in the waves, jumping right in our direction, all across the tips. Just having a great time. It was pretty cool to see.
And the real thing was the crew staying focused, and they were really focused. We ended up not having a sail inventory that a lot of other people did, but we persevered. We just kept going and going, and we coming into this beautiful island of Bermuda, we ended up in position like between 3rd and 4th place, battling for 3rd and 4th, and none of the crew ever gave up. Like even at one point we were 11th and nobody gave up, which was so cool. It was so cool to see everybody so energized and like coming into this beautiful island. And then we fell into a hole, and that's sailing. That's sailing, man. It's sailboat racing. You know, sometimes we're on the other side of that hole, and then the other people are coming up to us. This just happened to be, we were on the wrong side of it. And as a result, we didn't get on the podium, but we were pretty close, and we'll do it again sometime.
I was off watch. I don't know if you guys are on watch, but I was woken up at like 20 minutes to 3 in the morning, a few hours before I was supposed to be up. And then we were told we were doing a sail change. We were going from a jib top to an A3. We managed to get the A3 up with a good amount of time, and then unfortunately the sheet broke off the clew, the snap shackle. We're not really sure what happened to it, but it fell off. I think it just popped. Sail was luffing. We went up to the bow, tried to get the sail back in. We threw our bow guy. I held on to him and I threw him onto the pole. He grabbed the kite. We got it onto the deck, started dousing it, getting into the hatch up front, and unfortunately, part of it caught in the water, and so we lost it in the water, and then we decided to blow the tack.
Yeah, I was on pit, and somebody was like, all right, crank up the tack so it's easier to relieve the thing. So I clicked off the tack, and all of a sudden I just see it run out the boat.
Yeah, and unfortunately,
and they're like, all right, tack's blown. It's like, all right.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I see the spin halyard run out of the boat because the clutch wasn't closed because we had just dropped it. And so I was just holding it with like one hand on the winch, and I couldn't hold it, so
it's one of those things where it started to become dangerous and people were starting to get pulled towards the lifelines, especially the people who were holding onto it. It's a large sail. Once it's in the water, it's kind of one of those things where you're lucky to get it out, and we made the decision to let it go for the safety of the crew. I think it was the right decision.
We ended up going to the code, which just took another half hour getting it up, and in a squall, 30-knot squall with seas just past just the morning of day 2. And eventually got it up after a lot of battling it with the wind and waves, but we got it up, got it set, and went from there.
So what happened out there? Did you blow any sails?
Yeah, we did put about a 4.5-inch rip into our only jib.
When? How early in the race?
It was in I believe it was the first 24 hours. And we had to wait for things to calm down a little bit, so we flew the staysail until calmed down, and then we were able to get about half the jib onto the deck. And took about an hour and a half.
What was top speed on board True?
I think we were at right about 19 knots.
19.
Surf and waves, yeah.
Surf and waves.
It's a big boat for 19.
Did you catch dolphins? Were they catching up to 19?
Yep, they could catch up to us, yeah.
Sick, man, that's awesome.
Good time.
Well, that's a wrap on the Gulfstream show. We've been blown away by the response, and we couldn't have made it happen without Palm Beach Motor Yachts believing in the concept and then helping us see it through to completion. We also couldn't have done it with all the sailors taking time out from their racing and interviewing with us. Personally, I'd like to thank my amazing team behind me, Kate Summers, producer, and Corey Potter, my editor on shore, who made it all look so smooth. We'll see you next edition.